Hey everybody, this is FireXFred giving you another shoutcast. This is a best of three between our Protoss buddy here, EGAxslav, against OGS. This is OGS, the STC. I think the deal with this is that this was played on the US ladder, possibly, and OGS has, the Korean team, OGS has an account on the American server or the North American server. I think that's why that name is just OGS. They kind of all share it. But anyway, real quick, notice that Axlav, no unnecessary clicks really. He's incredibly slow at the start. I really like that. It's just kind of funny. Um, I might also be incredibly slow because my apartment is ridiculously freezing and my hands are very cold. I'm actually wearing gloves. I wear gloves when I play. That way, just as an excuse, if I lose, I'm like, oh, freaking gloves, and then I tear them off and throw them on the floor and then put them back on for the next game so that I can have them as an excuse again. Everybody doing pretty basic things, chrono boosting on probes, getting his first gate, normal time. Barracks also at the normal time. Tasteless would tell you that this is here because, you know, might as well. It lowers, so might as well put it there. Save some mining time on your SCV there. But I have completely failed on keeping up with my one shoutcast a day. Absolutely, completely failed. I think it's been like 2 weeks since I've done my last one. It's kind of hard to do it with while taking like 17 credits or whatever in school. I mean, I'm just making excuses, but it is quite hard to do it. Refinery going down for our OGS STC here. We'll see if he puts the cybernetic score down. Axlav. He does put the cybernetic score down. That is pretty standard. But yeah, also I was having some problems with my computer just not wanting to record. And then I'll like change absolutely no settings and then it'll record perfectly. And then I'll change absolutely no settings and it'll stop recording again. If you've ever tried doing any shoutcasting, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Probe dance going down right here. Zealot being made, and this Marine is going to scout around in a fancy dragon, sort of a dinosaur mouth pattern. I like to call that the dinosaur mouth pattern. Meanwhile, the SCV poking around in here. Axav only is making a Zealot, so he's not going to be able to chase out that SCV for quite a while. Meanwhile, this probe is like, oh, Marines actually shoot at a distance, so I can't do anything about it. Let's see if he actually sees that command center going down. He does. If he had actually clicked on it, he'll know that that's a command center. Actually, it might be big enough that he just knows it's a command center. I think that is possible to do. Is it bigger than this? This is a barracks. Yeah, it's definitely bigger by 1 pixel. Or 1 square, whatever they're called. Supply depot is going down. Pylon's probably going down for Axlav. Yep. Getting 2 more gates up, and that first sentry out pretty quick because he did get that pretty quick second gas. He's going to have a lot of gas for sentries. He might push or he might just keep them for defense. He might expand kind of quick off these 3 gates. And then when you have those sentries, you're pretty safe from any pushes. STC going around the long way. Some gold minerals in his hand there. Drilled him out with his other hand, picked him up with his left. That's just a great... you can't see me right now, but I'm doing a drill with my right hand, pick him up with my left hand motion. And the Nexus is going down, so we do see both players fast expanding, pretty fast expanding. Though we do have these 3 barracks up, one with Tech Lab and one with the reactor. He's going to be able to get out quite a few ground forces right at the beginning. Maybe he'll do a little push. But with these sentries, Axlav is just building up energy. He's going to have quite a few force fields, and he'll probably be completely fine. Warping in more sentries because he has just so much gas coming in from these 2 really quick geysers, and there is sort of a little push coming out. Not all the units. Also, stim going down. Notice that. And he's probably going to lift off. Yep, he lands a mule and then lifts off his orbital. Let's see what's going on down here. Sentries taking out that poor SCV. He's like, oh, ramp, I'll just go up it. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong side of it. So he died. Horrible, horrible death. I like to think that in the Protoss army, death by sentry is the worst way to go. Because, like, yeah, you get, like, daggered by a zealot. You get, like, shot, basically, like, Star Wars beamed by a stalker. But these things, I don't know what they are. They're just, like, continuous beams of pain. That's the worst way to go. 2 bunkers are coming up. Kind of, I'd like to see him back a little bit more. Maybe covering a little more area. This one is, I mean, obviously these units can just walk up, go around. So it is going to force him to pull a couple SCVs off there. Probably going to have to lift this command center also. But we do have Stimback going to finish pretty soon, as well as a couple Marauders popping out. That'll really help against this. There's quite a few Stalkers here. And Marauders, obviously, Pwn Stalkers. These guys getting caught off a little bit, but he gets some nice force fields down. Really nice force fields. Even more going down, so you can just pick off quite a few, actually, of the STC's units. Now he only has a couple left, but he does have these bunkers still. And that bunker going back a little bit further, I like that placement a lot more than the others. Back home in our Protoss base, we have another gateway and a simulator going down, and we have an attack up here. Some nice force fields limiting the amount of SCVs that can actually repair that bunker, and more nice force fields going down. All of these guys just can't do anything, and still I'd like to see this Zealot out in front, but not a really big deal. And that other bunker does go down. He's going to pull out for just a second and probably warp in a couple more units. Wow, that Zealot at 2 hit points. 2 hit point Zealot for the win. A couple OP mules coming down. Nice time there. He did actually target down all the sentries, which is nice. Because those force fields won't be able to regenerate. On the other hand, though, now he has to deal with a ton of stalkers. And, you know, those deal more damage than sentries. So, kind of, I don't know, I think it was a good choice to take out those sentries. They can just block off so many of your units. And he's pushing in here a little bit more. I'd like to see a Guardian Shield go down because that's so good against these. Especially against Marines, but it helps against Marauders too, obviously. It's all range damage that it reduces by 2, yep. So a couple more bunkers going down. He's really putting OGS, the STC, on the defensive end. Meanwhile, he's getting a robotics facility, but concussive shells is about to finish. That would help a lot in being able to kite as long as EGAxslav didn't get some nice force fields. So EGAxslav, a little bit supply block just because he got that pylon taken out, that forward pylon, but he's going to be taking out these rocks, probably going to expand to the gold. He does have quite a few probes, definitely enough to saturate well when he's expanding. So now Forge, Robotics Bay going down, and another robotics facility actually. He's going to have 2 robo facilities pumping out Colossus. And we see the command center going down for ODS, the STC. Now he has all those upgrades for his ground units. Starport going down as well as the reactor. Probably going to swap those out. Probably get Medivacs for now. He's not sure if Colossus are coming at this point. 2 workers here. Probably going to duke it out. This Marine going to take out this probe right here. Meanwhile, probes going around. Going to place pylons at nice spotting areas around the map. Ground weapons level 1 going down for our Protoss buddy, and infantry weapons level 1 going down for our Terran friend there, and 2 Mudivacs, 2 Mudivacs coming down for our Terran buddy, as well as 2 barracks. Those Medivacs are really going to help with this army. He's not going to be so afraid to stim. Also taking down these rocks, probably going to expand to this location here. And our Protoss buddy looking like he's going to take the gold expansion. This Marine could spot that pylon. Lots of movement. The Observer coming out. And we do see Extended Thermal Lance coming on its way, as well as 2 Colossi. Almost done. So with those 2 robos, he's just going to be able to pump out so many Colossi. And he might take the STC by surprise. The STC doesn't really... He doesn't even have... you know, he doesn't have an expansion. That's what he thinks at this point. I like to think that he thinks that anyway. It's like, man, he's really one-basing hard. If I just hold off, I'll be way ahead. No, he knows. Don't be silly. So now quite a few Zealots and a couple of Stalkers and 2 Colossi, as well as 2 on the way, and Thermal Lance is actually going to be finished pretty soon. This Medevac might get picked off, but he does see it. He's reacting. He's probably going to have to pull this up anyway. Yep. He might actually lose that. No, he's not going to lose it. He'll probably attack around. He's going to go and try and flank and keep the Protoss player down on that low ground. But he's just going to go up to the... Wow. Some nice force fields stopping... Yeah, really separating those units quite a bit, and all these Marauders over here are not able to attack. So some pretty nice force fields, pretty nice use of force fields. Meanwhile, another starport going down, as well as 2 more Colossi. This Colossus is just like, oh, no big deal. Saw an expansion over here, I'm going to go take it out, guys. Oh, no, I'm going to turn around. I love how their heads turn so much like slower, because their legs don't actually turn. That's so silly looking. Oh man, the day of a Colossus, right? That would be the day to live. This gold expansion is up and totally functional, completely functional. He's going to be getting in so many minerals from that. He is getting ground armor 1 as well as infantry armor 1 going down for our Terran buddy. Only a couple of Vikings, 4 Vikings right now, and he's actually losing a couple of the Vikings. That's not good at this point. Might get that Colossus. Nope, Colossus escapes with 2 life. 2 life. And now the OP shields of the Protoss are going to start repairing him. Oh, he runs in, takes out the Colossus, and runs back out. That's what I like to see. Crazy humans. 2 more Colossi coming out, as well as 3 gates. He just has so many minerals coming in because of this gold base. He even threw up a cannon there, just in case there were going to be like a ghost or something. You know, wants to be sure that he's safe. Terran warps in some Dark Templars. He's like, what? Dark Templar? That's not your unit, that's my unit. Observer checking out stuff. 4 more Vikings on their way. That's going to significantly help against the Colossus. But actually, I think there are just too many Colossus. He might just run through the Terran right here. Not looking good. We've been trying to expand for quite a while and just not able to. Now these medevacs are not as useful as Vikings would have been. Pulling the probes, sign of desperation there. Only 3 Vikings here to try and take out 4 Colossi. Just doesn't look like it's going to work, looks like. And more Stalkers being blinked in. He does have that ground armor as well at this point, so that's helping a lot reduce the damage from that infantry army. So there's the GG from the STC. Pretty straightforward game. EGAxslav was just able to put enough pressure on the STC that he wasn't able to expand at any good time. So obviously OGS was running out of minerals here in his main, and EGAxslav was just thriving. I like these scans going down too. He's like, well, I might be able to stay in it. Maybe at this point he still thought that he was on 1 base, and he's like, oh, if I just hold off on this 1 base. No, that's silly. Alright, stay tuned for the next game. This is a best of 3, so thank you for watching.